say poetry, you say slam. Poetry. Slam. Poetry. Slam. Nice.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you.
For those of you with a really tentative eye, this is not Josie. Dun dun dun. Josie, who was going to be co-hosting Bristol Captain, only gone and got bloody COVID, didn't she? Yeah, but she's been good and she's decided not to come here and infect you all. So yeah, but it's fine because Cal stepped in. So wave to Cal. Me and Cal, I mean, we probably met about an hour ago, but things move pretty fast, don't they, in the poetry world?
Look at us.
Yeah, but I have seen Cal host. Cal, you host the Lyra Poetry Slam, don't you, with Josie?
Yes.
So Cal, they know what they're doing. Yeah, they know what they're doing, don't you, Cal? Yeah.
Yeah. Professional, consummate, all the time.
Yeah. Anything nice to say about me?
You to date are one of the funniest poets who has ever walked through the doors of Hammer and Tongue, and your poems always stand out in memory.
Oh, thanks, Cal. Enough being nice. We're here for a good fight. Who's here for Weston?
Yeah! And who's here for Bristol? Yeah! We'll work on it.
Yeah. And this over here is our BSL interpreter, Paul Mancini. So give him a big wave. Shall we let everyone know who is on each of the teams, Cal?
Yeah.
Right, who is on your Bristol team?
Right, so, representing Bristol, we have no one really from Bristol. In what can only be described as the best representation of Bristol. So you got me, I'm Cal, I'm from Watford, I now live in Bristol.
Yeah!
We then have Gemma Hathaway, initially from Portsmouth/Plymouth. Yeah! Stephen Lightbound from Blackburn. Yeah! And Aisha Humphreys from Penzance.
Yeah! Right. Oh, sorry, Cal, one more to say.
I have nothing else I was going to add.
Okay, good. Right, yeah, enough.
Cool.
So, our Western team, we've got some right legends in the building. I'm going to start with legend number 1. Anne Bunn is back. Legend 2.
From Western either.
Do you know what? That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I don't think any of them are they? Maybe not. Who cares? No one cares. Legend number 2, he's been to like every slam that I've done since July. It's Adam Leopard. And over in the corner we have Bill Thomas, who has the best suit, and I really want it. Big cheer for Bill in the great suit. Cal, I know you're new here.
Yeah.
I've given Cal the really massive responsibility of telling everyone the rules. But he's written them down, so Cal, give us the rules.
So, there's going to be 2 rounds this evening. 1 poem from each poet in each round. After every poem, the judge will score out of 10. Judges, use your decimal places. The highest collective score out of 10... Hang on. Consummate professional, I told you at the start. Highest collective score at the end of the night wins. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Poets who is performing, please, if you feel they need them, give a content warning before you do your poem. Also, no nudity.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to say that. I do apologise. I guess. No nudity. There's the rules. Don't punch down.
Oh yeah, important one.
Yeah, important one. Don't punch down. By all means, punch up.
Yeah.
But not literally. There are people in the cheap seats.
Who wants to meet the judges?
Yeah!
Right. Judge number 1, we have PJ, who is a British-born Ghanaian poet, broadcaster and hip-hop artist, and he performs as the Repeat Beat Poet. That's his name. I'm not finished. his debut pamphlet. Have you brought your pamphlet with you? Yeah, PJ's brought them here to sell, so you can get one. A Testament to Life and Death was released in February, and he is the co-founder of the hip-hop open mic Penting Poetry and the award-winning Lunar Poetry podcast. Next up, right, so there's a bit of a story for this one. So I wanted to find a judge that was geographically neutral. So somewhere that was exactly between Bristol and Weston, which I thought, from my calculations, was a place called Cleve. Is anyone here from Cleve? Tumbleweeds. And I searched and I couldn't find a poet from Cleve, but I know that Cleve does have a cattery, so I don't know if that's useful for anyone. So I got in contact with Isabel White. Now Isabel White won the last Rhyme Against the Tide Poetry Slam, and Isabel is from Clevedon, which is
Close enough.
Might be a little bit close to Weston.
That's all right.
But we're going to be neutral, aren't we, Isabel? Yeah, the nod of neutrality. And Isabel has been shortlisted for the Bridport Prize, that is a big prize. And she's currently a director of modern poetry in translation.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's big. Big round of applause for Isabel, please. And finally, over here we have Georgina Wilding. Georgina has come all the way from Nottingham today, and she was, long drive, and people weren't indicating on the motorway, were they? Awful people. And Georgina is the former Nottingham Young Poet Laureate and 2019 to 2021's creative director of Nottingham Poetry Festival. And sorry, I'm not finished. And Georgina has got a poetry book coming out with Verve Poetry Press in May. Yeah, and Verve, everyone wants to be published by Verve, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
So that's our judging panel, everyone. Right. Who wants a slam? Did you come here for a poetry slam? Right, okay, so me and Cal are going to we're sacrificing ourselves, aren't we, this evening? Yeah, we're going to... Sorry, I forgot to...
Josie had COVID and couldn't come. Didn't want to be sacrificed.
I forgot to include it in the email.
Oh, good,
yeah,
fine.
You're here to sacrifice yourself today.
Can I at least do some poems before I die?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. So we're going to toss a coin. Cal has got a coin. Cal is responsible for throwing and catching the coin because I'm not very good at throwing and catching coins.
Coin! Fucking no pressure.
Oh gosh. Heads.
It's tails. Hey. Bristol's going first!
Yeah! Right, so Cal, I'm going to introduce you. Are you ready to do your sacrificial poem?
Go on, Bristol! Yeah, I'm ready.
Right, big round of applause, please, for the first sacrificial poem of the night. It's Cal.
As you may have gathered, I like to do comedy. Unfortunately, my dad died 2 years ago, and that kind of put a stop to it. Excellent, one laugh, that's staying in. When the flowers arrive, you will want to cry. You will see the dead pressed together, made beautiful by the smell of decay. This is mourning. Loved thing taken from the earth. When the flowers arrive, you will have to keep the cat away. Kind friend apologising for a death they were not responsible for, nearly doubled the death toll by sending lilies and killing the cat. Stupid line. When the flowers arrive, You will not understand why everyone is sorry for your loss. You will not be ready to accept that you have lost. You will not imagine them dead, therefore they are not. When the flowers arrive, you will run out of vases. You will have to ask the neighbours for more. They will also be sorry. As they hand over their glassware, you will think to yourself that you could drop this vase right now, and they would still apologise to you. When the flowers arrive, spend time in your own garden. Sit on the grass. Pick at the weeds. Curse them for being yellow and alive, and for not being sorry. Rip out their hair. Ask the universe if someone loves you. Blow away their heads. Ask the universe to bring him back.
Right, judges, that was, I hope you're paying attention. Paying attention? Right, what is your score for Cal? That was your little tester. Your little, to figure out what sort of judge you're going to be. Isabel's quick. A solid 8. 8. Liz, where are you, Liz? Hi, Viz Liz. PJ, is that 8.5? 8.5. Georgina, have we got a score? 8. 8. Liz? Where's Liz?
24.5.
I love that you're out on the sofa, Liz. Say that again.
24.5.
24.5. Right. So
I was going to say, you're doing the next poem. I'll introduce you.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Cal.
So, cool. Here to do the next sacrificial poem. It's your other host for this evening. It's Sophie.
Right. I don't want to give. This is a poem about flat hunting in Weston-Super-Mare. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's going absolutely shite. A separate toilet and a nice view of Weston, please. Those two requests aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. They can occur at the same time. I'd love to have a piss overlooking Breandown Peninsula, wouldn't you? There doesn't seem to be a kitchen sink in this photo. There's no kitchen sink. Right, okay. Minimalism. I get it. I guess I'll just cook every single meal on single-use plastic. I just thought, right, that as a society, we're speeding up the destruction of Earth now. Gosh, right, okay. No, don't get me wrong, it's just so hard to keep up with the trends, isn't it? Like these exposed plug sockets. Now, don't get me wrong, it's different, definitely different. A modern and contemporary twist on health and safety. A commentary on just how finite life is. To be fair, right, I did tell my good mate Christian in the pub last month that I was going to live and fucking die in Weston. I just sort of meant it more spiritually and in the holy name of placemaking, with the husk of a very old rock star on his billionth cigarette. Not tomorrow, trying to hardwire my hairdryer into the living room wall. Thank you. May I receive my scores? Judges, thank you. 8.5, it's an 8.5. 8.2.
Come on, live a night.
8.5. Liz! She's out there on the calculator punching the numbers in.
25.7.
25.7! Thanks, judges. Right, Cal, are we saying it's Bristol first, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, right. Let me just shuffle through my notebook. Who's up first? I believe the first poet up tonight is Gemma Hathaway.
Yeah.
Big round of applause.
All right, well, let's adjust it. Let's get you sorted.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Hi. This poem I wrote for Black History Month last year. It's called My Melanin. I hope you like it. My melanin. My melanin is Black History Month all year, is Black Future forever. My melanin arrives naked at a wake and wins the Best Dressed award. My melanin is a barista. It makes an espresso so full-bodied, a flat white buys a butt implant. When night falls, my melanin catches it, understands how to hold darkness in its hands and make moonlight from lifelines. If you choose to believe in miracles, you can make a magic wand of a matchstick. But my melanin is nature's greatest magic trick. Absorbs sunlight like Palmer's cocoa butter. My melanin's Patronus is not always a panther, sometimes it is a poem. By Maya Angelou. My melanin knows if you could mix LaBelle's Lady Marmalade with Beyonce's Lemonade, I would never put anything else in my mouth. My melanin says I matter, and sometimes I have to sit and relearn restraint, try to teach my melanin why diversity causes 24,000 Ofcom complaints. My melanin is a lion, my country thinks itself a ringmaster, but this DNA remembers the whip. So as the lion sleeps tonight, it is wondering which way to swallow microaggression and spit out its bones. The skin is the largest organ of the body, just as an organ is the largest instrument in a church. My melanin sits every day singing prayers in the front pew. You can't just pick this shade off the shelf at B&Q. My melanin took millennia. Is 10,000 generations of lovemaking in the mix. My melanin is Mother Nature and Father Time's favourite kid. My Heritage Act tells me I have 8 ethnicities. I am Irish, Scottish, Welsh, East European, Baltic, English, Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, Kenyan and Native American. My melanin is a daughter of diamonds and shamans and teacups. Is a cartographer's template, a geography GCSE, God's tour de force, and the only certain way for sailors to navigate stars at sea. So when it is told to go back where it came from, my melanin says, then show me the way to the beginning. And at the end, in 1 billion years, when the sun spins the last slow song on the solar sound system, begins the breakdown of a supernova, since melanin holds light like Galileo's telescope held the moon, the universe will suck all of the oxygen out of the room. Marvel how a star, exploding in the vastness of infinity, just makes my melanin look good. Thank you.
Gemma, it's a bit inconvenient that was so good, so could you just maybe turn it down a little bit, please? But wasn't that amazing? That was such a good poem. Judges, have we got our scores ready? Georgina is confident. What is your score, Georgina? 9.5! Isabel. It's a 9, it's a big massive 9, and 8.9, 8.9, really good scores. It was an 8.9 the last one.
27.4.
27.4, amazing. Right, who is excited for our first Western poet? Who I believe is, big round of applause, Anne Byrne.
Well, this, guys and girls, is seriously unfair, because following Gemma, whose books I've got on my shelf and who I think is absolutely fantastic, I have got to go simplistic. It's the only way I can do this. So this is me, short, sweet, and invariably simple. This is a story of one of those perfect moments. Don't get them very often in life, but this is one that happened to me right at the beginning of the first lockdown. And it's called simply Blessing. A robin sang its spell for me, full-throated, heart aflame. Its notes rang clear and poignant, and I felt its wonder claim the spirit of all nature, renewal, love and loss, the hope of perfect future, the message that can cross all time, all rhyme and reason, and span the great divides. A message for the dreamer, the lover and the child. This fragile bird inspired me to pass that day in grace, a blessing given to me in my safe and quiet place.
Judges, what are we thinking? They're scribbling, they're writing them down. That was a bit of a sigh, Georgina. Is it already quite difficult? We're only 2 people in. You've got a long way to go. Right, have you got a score? 8. A solid 8, solid 8. 8.3, it's an 8.3. And an 8.8. Well done, Anne. When I say poetry, you say slam. Poetry, 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 poetry. Right, who is excited for the second Bristol poet of the night? Big, massive... Big. Oh my God, Liz, sorry, I'm getting carried away. Give us the score.
25.1.
25.1. It's because I'm too excited to meet the Bristol poets, that's why. So, please, big round of applause for Stephen Lightbow.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I have a 5-month-old baby at home. This is the first time I've been out in 5 months. About this time, I should be sat on a bed, silent, listening to a white noise app. So I'm very excited to be here with people. It's very exciting. This is poems. Yeah, we read poems, don't we? It's been a long time. This is a poem about meeting your hero in fairly traumatic circumstances. It's called Should Have Kept Quiet. It's funny, thanks for laughing already. We sit in a Shoreditch cafe, breakfast ordered. Halloumi on a round of hipster beards. You ask me if I've ever felt like this before, and I say yes. With Alan Shearer. Oh God! Alan Shearer. Before shared Chris with Lineker, before he was a magpie who shunned silver for adulation, he was my God in blue and white halves with a rose on his chest. He was Blackburn Rovers number 9. He would rampage on the turf, ball as an extra limb, eyes forward, power as beauty. He'd smash balls past gloved hands, he'd wheel away to the corner flag, one arm raised in celebration. Classic Alan. I would stand with my 30,000 strong congregation, or rise and fall, an ecstatic breath from which we exhaled as one. And if football is not your thing, Alan Shearer will be, and you can join in. Shearer, Shearer, Shearer. Some music to my ears, that is. I had Alan's name tattooed on the back of my shirt. Thank God for Vistaprint, other printing t-shirt places are available. I had Alan's name tattooed on the back of my shirt. Posters of Alan covered my wall like gift wrap. Alan argues with the referee. Alan wins a header. Alan scores. Alan in the home kit. Alan in the away kit. Alan in a 1990s shell suit. Not allowed near a naked flame. Alan was everywhere. And in 1995, Alan led us to the Premier League title. Blackburn Rovers, English champions. It was the greatest time of my life. And that was until the 27th of January 1996 when it snowed. Great white Tipex started fresh snow. No football anywhere. So I went sledging instead. I hit a tree. I broke my back. Wheelchair user. Simple as that. There was no more feet on terraces. I needed more than posters. I needed Alan. I was in intensive care in formation with 7 other broken teammates thrown together yesterday. Eyes fixed on the door. Thoughts of my own full time for company. In walked Tim Flowers. He was Blackburn's goalkeeper. He was England's #1. He was followed by Mike Newell, one of Alan's fellow forwards. And then Alan fucking Shearer. The heart monitor I was hooked up to exploded into life, fueled by embers of mine. Alan is bundled to one side as nurses rush to halt the cardiac arrest that wasn't. After all these years, I had told Alan through the medium of a heart monitor how much I loved him. In return, he gave me a signed copy of this book, Alan Shearer's Diary of a Season. And if you indulge me for a second, I will read you an extract. Because it has been 2 years and I want to prove that exciting literature still exists. Sunday, the 2nd of April 1995, I celebrate our 6-point lead at the top of the table by creosoting the new fence and enjoying a day in front of the box. Literature is alive! I realise I'm still in Shoreditch and the halloumi squeak has fallen silent. I look at you, my new strike partner, and your dating profile flashes before my eyes. I like fitness, but hate sports. Never mention fucking football. I take my cue from the cheese, swallow words with a gulp of tea. And in hindsight, I should have just said, no, I have never felt like this before. Thank you.
Judges, have we got scores? Yeah. Georgina, give us your score. It's a 9.8! 9.8! It's a 9. Isabel, it's a 9.1! 9.1. These are good scores. It's a 9.2! I'm waiting for the score. I remember.
28.1.
28.1 for Stephen! Yeah! Right, who would like to meet? I can't remember what poet we're on. Number 2, 2nd of Weston. Yeah, we're on Weston. Big round of applause, please, for Adam Leopard.
Hello, good evening. Hello. Bit of a disclaimer. I've written a poem about Weston to Bristol. Okay. Yeah. So it's taking in mind of the vibe of tonight, and you know, we're pretty close. We're pretty close to each other, so there is a bit of a love vibe there. But tonight's a competition. So this is from Weston to Bristol. You know, just 20 odd miles. That's all it is. A hop, skip and jump between Weston and Briz. Man, those 20 odd miles, they just aren't enough. But I'm not even threatened because their team ain't so tough. In Briz, the number of street pyjama wearers triples, and the talent of their poets trickles. Trickles and slows and trickles some more. So now they've come Weston to try and make a score. I know that sounds like Weston's just as bad, but with 1/6 of your population, your best is just bad. You've come to try achieve some dream, but you won't even leave with your self-esteem. So I wish you the best in your fleeting endeavour. Here, gold star for trying to make your poem sound clever. Shame, though, because it won't be enough to put you on top. In fact, no one will think ill if you just want to stop. We're a nice bunch down here. We'll all understand. We gave you laughter like Heinz. It's totally canned. You see, we all got together to have a sit down, and by that I mean, yeah, the whole fucking town. Let's not embarrass them too much, said Breathing Tube Danny, but a fuck that hurtled across the room from a little old granny. And so that was that. The die had been cast. The vote was unanimous. We'd let you come last. I even said that I'd take a dive, stumble and mutter so you could survive. But I respect my elders and Granny's opinion that Weston's the one who holds the dominion. So, yes, Bristol. You can say you're bigger, but that means nothing when I hold the trigger to the gun that strips you of all of your fun, and believe me when I say I've only begun. Come! Gather round close and lend us your ear. There's a review I've found that I'd like you to hear. Expensive sandwiches and hordes of smelly hippies do not a pleasant city make. Now that's some poetry! Brids, take notes for your whole team's sake. Mess with a bull and you'll get the horns, with potent stanzas that'll prick you like thorns, get stuck in your mind and buried in deep. No one will judge you if they rob you of sleep. In fact, best thing to do is go grab your teddy, settle down quick so you're sure you're all steady, with dummy in mouth and milk at your side. It won't hurt so much when your trophy's denied. So, thank you for doing those 20-odd miles. Sorry to slate you, it was done for the smiles. But step to our hometown and you tried to win. For that, you get left in a state of chagrin. So, trundle off home back to smelly old Briz. You can try again next time, no need for a tiz. And I suggest you go blow all that dust off your brain while we cheer all night long and spray the champagne. Because Weston's a force, unending and true. So best thing to do is bid you adieu. Disinfect us of Bristol and see you all soon. But I swear you're no threat, cause we're fucking immune.
You say sandwiches. Expensive. Sandwiches. Expensive. Sandwiches. There's too many expensive sandwiches in Bristol. It's not needed. I was wondering when the competition was going to get a bit gnarly. I mean, after here, we'll have a fight in the car park. So if anyone wants to join in with the fight in the car park, bring it on. Judges, have we got our scores? Georgina, I'm coming to you first. It's a 7.9. It's a 7.9. Oh dear. Isabel. Oh, it's a 9.3. It's a 9. It's a 9 for the Savage poem. Well done, Adam. What's it?
26.2.
26.2. Well done. Right, so we're on to our Bristol poet now. Big round of applause, please, for Aisha Humphreys.
Hello. I really misjudged the vibe of this slam. I'm just gonna say that now. I'm not funny, so it's gonna get a little bit, you know. But I do know that I'm winning the most Bristol. This is called For the Love of Girls. I don't want to talk about how many times I felt my heart leave my chest every time I've walked alone in the night. I don't want to talk about how when I was still a girl I was conditioned to shrink in towards my bones, holding in my breath. I don't want to talk about how now I am not a girl, that weight is still the same. I want to talk about all the ways in which my girlhood was a blessing, how I fall in love with the spirit of the girls who do not care that they're being outrageously dramatic. I want them to know their drama is the most beautiful thing I still know how to do. I want to talk about the girls who fall helplessly in love with almost anything, and how maybe that's not their weakness, how maybe that's what makes them so deserving. I want to talk about the girls who painted my nails in hospital beds. I do not want to remember how we compared our pain like it was a beauty contest. I want to talk about how much we loved each other through it all. I want that to be my memory. I want to remember them for the wide-eyed angels that they were. I do not want to talk about their scars, though I know how they ached. I want to talk about the notes we left each other. Each one a love poem, each one a carefully crafted song. They say nostalgia is a bitch. But I bet we were the worst of it. I bet we were the bitches the boys talked about in the locker room. I bet they branded us prudes and sluts and whores. Let us take back our swords. I'm not a girl, but I still know how to scream like one. I'm not a girl, but my body disguises itself as one, and for that, tonight, I'm glad. Though I hate my own chest most days. Though I want my breasts to disappear like a girl in the night, some days I'm proud of the shape of me. I think it's what made me know how to throw my whole self in. I want to talk about my sister and that secret language only we know. I want to talk about my mother, her soft smile and her sharp edges. I want to talk about my housemate and her tenderness, how when the nights are so unforgiving, we can just sit on her bed, smoke until our lungs ache from the laughter. I want to talk about all the girls that got lost in the night and how they're still here with me, how I still sing their names. Let's all sing their names. Let's sing her name. Thank you.
An amazing shirt, wouldn't you agree? An amazing shirt. Judges, have we got any scores? Who's ready? Isabel, you look pretty ready. It's a 9.1! 9.1! 8.5 from Georgina, 8.5, Liz, and a 9.4. Good scores! That's very good scores. 27. It's a solid 27! Right, we're on to our final poet of round one. Don't worry, there's going to be a round two. You're going to see them all again. To finish off this round, we have got Bill Thomas!
We don't have to tell some lies to the children, don't we? You ask why your mouth tastes so foul when you wake, my dear. So I'll tell you, make no mistake, it's the tooth fairy does it. Because she's in demand since the building of castles has gone out of hand. Mum's told you the story of how she builds castles from incisors and molars that have caused people hassles, that have been taken out as they start to go rotten, or wobbly baby teeth pulled out with cotton. They're put under pillows for the fairy to find and swap for a banknote, or maybe a pine, if you're posh. What Mum hasn't told you, my darling, is why that fairy takes teeth with her into the sky. She makes them castles with walls that are strong to defend against goblins who do what is wrong by kidnapping fairies and... Oh, this is vile. They put taps in their livers to drain off the bile and put it in bottles to fulfill our demands for green fairy liquid that's kind to your hands. stop there, couldn't they? The fairies are fighting back, building stockades to defend fairy families against goblins' raids. The demand for enamel has gone through the roof. But the tooth fairy has to work hard for each tooth, since crowning and capping has replaced the extraction of teeth which have bits that are missing in action. She's eager to grab what's come out of your socket since fairyland prices have started to rocket. So no Tinkerbell she, all glitter and wand. Hard hat, roll up, pick in her hand, jeans with a builder's bum, fluorescent vest, like Liz, and steel cap Doc Martens. And she does her best to loosen the teeth that she'll need the next day in the hope that they'll come out and give her a way to fashion a fairy folk-sized Motte & Bailey. And if she can't find one, or nothing that suits, she'll stamp on your tongue with her size 7 boots. She'll crap in your mouth, puff on her fag, and go on next door with a list and a bag. And that's why, my angel, your mouth feels so weird. A tooth fairy's been and found just as she's feared there's nothing for her. She's gone off in a strop, leaving nothing behind but the taste of her plop.
Done. Well done, poets. Say well done, poets. Yeah, they've made it through the worst bit. The worst bit is the first round. Judges, have we got any scores? Georgina? 8.9. It's an 8.9 for Belle. Isabel? It's an 8.7. Good. And it's an 8.3. It's an 8.3. Liz is getting them in the calculator. What is it, Liz? 25.9. Yes. Right. So we're going to have a little break. So you've got 17 minutes. I'm going to give you 17 minutes. I'm going to start stretching for that fight in the car park that we're going to have. So go and do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back. Poetry slam. Yeah, and we've got to speed this one up, I think, because Cal's only got 58 minutes left on his car parking ticket. So don't want to put anyone under pressure, but yeah.
So there was no time limit in the first round.
Yeah.
You've now got a minute.
Yeah. Oh, Cal, right, we want to remind everyone that we're competing for something very special here. There it is, modelled by Cal. Right, we have got 2 more. It's not that the winning team has to share just one. We have 3 of these. So the stakes are pretty high. Can we have a big cheer for the shield? Yeah. Woo! Exactly. Cal, shall we get an update on the score?
Yeah.
As it stands. Yeah. Hi Viz.
Hi Viz Liz.
Hi Viz Liz. Oh yeah, hi Viz Liz. What score has Weston got, Liz?
77.2.
Woo!
Okay, that's good.
And what's the score for Bristol?
82.5.
Which is great. Oh, I'd care if we were losing. Right, so to begin the second half, we're going to have another sacrificial poet. Introducing to the stage, they're already on it, is Sophie.
Go.
Thanks, Johnny. So, yeah, this poem is inspired by a poem that already exists called The Importance of Listening, and it's by a poet called Tom Sastry, he's a Bristol-based poet. See, I can get on with the Bristolians. Yeah. It doesn't have a name. I only saw it because I had logged into Instagram. Overwhelm people with your kindness, it says. swirls for letters, a star above the eye, thinking about how completely underwhelming I had been, what it means to be acceptable and what it means to be bad, whether it is worse than that thing that someone else had done to someone else before. Upon deciding to take up underthinking, I started wondering whether some other corner of the internet champions living selfishly. Make yourself the priority, it says. Curves for letters, a heart above the eyes. Every evening, the enormous and life-giving power of my device tells me something important. I forget what I came in here for, something important. Then in the morning, I am all alone, with nothing but the universe telling me something else. Thank you. Cal's coming back, Cal's coming back.
Give it up for Sophie! Judges, we need some scores for the sacrificing. To start that way, oh, in the middle, 8.5 and 8.5. That was fortuitous. No pressure, Peter. Got an 8?
Yeah.
You love an 8? How is Liz?
25.
That's 25 for Sophie!
Right, introducing our second sacrificial poet of the night. Massive applause, please, for Cal.
Hello! You may remember from earlier when I mentioned my dad was dead. He's still dead. You'll get used to it. We've got a whole second half of me hosting. Doesn't get brighter than this. 1. I am woken up by the sound of screaming. My bedroom door opens and my sister, who I now know to be the source of the screaming, collapses in my bed. She lands on my glasses. The only pair I have at home right now with my correct prescription, and I think for a moment that she had better have a good reason for barging in here like this. 2. Mum, who has always known what to do when something breaks, who has always known where the missing piece was, who has always known how to make us smile, says she doesn't know what to do. 3. My sister screams 2 words at me. 4. I want to cut away to a scene that makes sense. 4. I want to make light of this. 4. I want to tell you this is a story. 4. I want to tell you anything but the truth. 4. My sister screams our dad from the earth and our home is still. 5. I hope my glasses are broken. I hope she cracked my bed in the fall. I hope she ripped the door from its hinges on the way in. I hope I can be mad at her for something else. Later today, I find my sister smoking in the garden. This is an important fact because I need you to know that I said no when offered a cigarette and therefore I am a better griever than my sister. 6. Dad, who has always been alive when something breaks. Who has always been alive where the missing piece was. Who has always been alive to make us smile, is dead. That's okay.
Well done, Cal. Well done. Big cheer for Cal, please. Judges, have we got scores? Georgina has gone for an 8.9. Nice. Isabel, 8.8. Peter, where are we? 9.1! It's a 9.1. It was a good poem. Liz, what is the total? Liz is multitasking. Liz is still doing her door. Let them in, Liz, let them in.
26.8.
26.8! Well done, Cal. I'll be off then. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Cal for round 2.
Hello! Right, I'll stop talking about that thing I spent 2 poems talking about, because it will kill the mood. So, welcoming to the stage our first poet for this half, representing Weston, it's Bill Thomas!
Oh, steady. Steady. This isn't going to improve the mood. Never mind. Hey! Remembering 16th of September 1918. Yeah, this is how I got these hands, these claws. On board the Glatten, ex-Norwegian ship, newly commissioned, just down from the Tyne, waiting to wend our way along the coast of Belgium to bombard the German forts. The second dog watch, Monday, 6:15, a great big woof, and flames come streaming out above Q turret, where the magazine has caught alight. The pyrines that we had, extinguishers, could only tickle what was flaring from the ventilators aft to mix and mingle in a wall of fire. The forward magazine was flooded fine. We couldn't reach the aft one for the flames, although we tried to force an entrance. That was when my hands sloughed off their skin like gloves. Berthed next to us, a fully laden ship of ammunition. Now, if we went up, we knew from Halifax the previous year that it would too. There's Dover down the pan. The Admiral's options coalesced to one. Put 3 torpedoes in us. We capsized, the fire went out, the town is saved, hurrah! It costs us 80 dead, 100 burnt. My brother in the Ypres salient went unscathed, and I received a Blighty one in Blighty and at our own hands to boot. They swore us all to secrecy, of course. Garrulous matelots could give a scoop to some Hun spy or other. I suppose my telling you is against the law, although it's been so long, I guess no one will mind. They towed her to the harbour's northern dock, then filled it in. The ferry terminal's there now. Glatten underneath. Welcome to England on my shipmate's grave. Cheers.
Give it up one more time for Milton! And judges, the parking meter's running out, so quickly with the scores. We've got a 9. We've got a 9, and we've got an 8.9. And high vis Liz. That gives us a score.
26.9.
26.9! And please keep your love and support going for our first Bristol poet of this next half. In reverse, it's Aisha Humphrey!
I've realised I've got another poem on like exactly the same subject, so I promise I do write about other things. I wrote this on International Women's Day. All the women I have been are standing at a bar, holding each other's hands as they sip at water or down a shot of tequila, their eyes all tired and aching. There were nights I was so sure we wouldn't survive, but here we are, looking like we just rolled out of bed, puffy cheeks and ancient limbs. I stopped myself from grabbing my 19-year-old face to say, there's so much left for you to become. And though I no longer call myself woman, I still know I was once a girl without a place. Some days I see my mother in the mirror as I wash my face, our pores and moles the same. My mother was born with 2 countries in her mouth. We're still learning how to swallow. All the women I have loved hold hands in a club. The ones who raised me. Taught me to scream from the belly and give my rage a name, stroked my cheek in pub toilets and kissed me on pavements, all of them living and no longer scorned. Thank you.
Give it up for Aisha Humphrey! We do not come to fuck about when there's a slam on, even though we do have one pretty much every fucking night in Bristol. Sweet, 1 laugh, it stays in. Thank you. So, before we move on to the next poet, can we please have a shout out for all of the staff at Loves? Can we please have a shout? That's your fucking job. Right, moving on swiftly so no one else notices that mistake. Scores! Consummate professional at all times. 8.9! 8.9! And a 9! 8.9! That's right, it was an 8.9, an 8.9 and a 9.
26.8.
26.8 pressure! And now, our next Western poet, please welcome back to the stage, Adam Leopard!
Hello again.
Please be nice.
No, don't worry. No, I am. Don't worry. I've accidentally done the same thing as well, and I've actually written another poem about another city. But this one's about London. I've just spent a few days there, and so I took my experience and I've compiled it into this. Dawn rolls around and sun glints the sky. Soft air drenched in dirt rises up on high. Gritty grinding of a sleepy city quickly does ensnare as others live in lavish homes and reek of debonair. The hustle and the bustle of a city never stops. Senses overloaded as the motion never drops. Pings from all the hazards always surging through your mind. Take your eyes off your prize and you'll get left behind. Zigzag, zigzag, up, through and down, streets unending in this old town. High rise here and high rise there, the concrete jungle encloses the air. From a crowd darts a single cyclist ready to collide. Panic rushes through my body and I try to step aside. There's a split-second dance where we both make a guess, a torrid tango in our minds' shared consciousness. Neither wishing to be the one to miss a single move, a collaboration of our spirits riding on a groove, so agile, nimble and vigorous you'd think it was a fight, but more fleeting an encounter, ships passing in the night. But they're an Uber Eats rider and the order's not for me, so I'm ignored and away they go as quickly as can be. But the pedestrians around me start to switch us to a waltz. Muddle through, we all do, despite our glaring faults. You see, I've never known the steps, and I've never been a dancer, so I'm staring deeply into them, hoping to find an answer. Quick as quick, I'm weaving like a pen upon a letter. Like a woolen thread, I'd be knitted like a sweater. The sweater isn't XXL, the needles are so strong, but the sleeves are stretched and ended up far too bloody long. Fitted for a slender man, then how I find myself, you know, I've dropped the stitch, fucked it up, and now I've lost my flow. Stepped off a step far too quick, and I've just lost my leg. Embarrassment drenches me like a face all draped in egg. Glares begin to fire quick from the high and mighty of this land. It's one step out of a million, come on, you gotta understand. I don't show the hurt inside and lift my gaze up to the skies. Gotta brush it off all quick, then back towards my prize. Now I carry on so rapidly and start to gain in pace. Can't afford to trip again or I'll be losing more than face. Through all the hustle and the bustle are breaks of nice delight. The stature of the buildings a display upon your sights. The little tiny nooks which are currently just for you. Theatres, bars and clubs and more quickly all accrue. Distractions are aplenty, indulgence for the eyes. Humans of the world unite below blue and cloudy skies. Languages and dialects fight with disregard. Distinguishing between them all is often far too hard. Time to visit all the things that London has to give. Mum said not to spend too much, but I'm sure she will forgive. The cash flow is unending, as most of it's appealing. Prices risen up as high as Italy's old ceilings. Trinkets, coffees, booze and food, each will help to raise my mood. And when the quality is high enough, it's easy to condone. 12.5% is customary, so I'm taking out a loan. London's pace is like a never-ending 100-metre track. It's difficult to even stop and look upon a map. So many other phones about and buildings oh so tall. Google can't find me again, what a stupid drunken fool. I thought the place was this way, but actually was that. But I'm not fussed, because each step helps to burn through all the fat. Allows some time for errors, as they're likely to unfold. So many things for me to learn, yet they're the ways of old. So now I'm kind of drunk, and my time has been enjoyed. Lived it up in London, though my wallet's now destroyed. Time to make my way back home and back home to my nice bed. But London truly did prove good, it really must be said.
Yeah. Adam Leopard, everybody! So, consummate professional will remember the basics of a slam this time, so I'll get the scores before I do my next aside. Scores! 8.5, 8.6, and 8.1! And hi, Miss Liz!
25.2.
That's 25.2! So, next round of applause before we welcome on our next poet goes to our tech for this evening. Give it up for Paula! And please keep that love and affection going for our next Bristol slammer. It's Stephen Leopard!
Hello again, everyone. You seem like actually you've been a really good audience who's been enjoying some participation. So there's a word in this poem that I want you to join in with. So when I say the word banana, I want you all to just shout the word banana. So shall we do a test run? If I say banana, oh, it's been a long time. It's a gig. You can shout loud. Go on, enjoy the word banana. Banana. You've got the job. So this poem, remember that, banana, okay? That was a test, I said banana. Thank you. So this poem, when I met my wife on our first date, I was opposite her and I was like, I need to up my game here. I mean, this is not going well. I had the sweat marks of shame. I was nervous. I told her for some strange reason that I'd signed up for the Berlin Marathon. I thought that would be an impressive thing to say. And it seemed to work. The second date, third date came. 3 weeks later, she said, could I come to Berlin and watch you do the Berlin Marathon? And I said, yeah, of course. We had a lovely time, and I went home and signed up for the Berlin Marathon. And 6 weeks later, I'm on the start line for the Berlin Marathon. And I'm looking at her, and I'm really wishing I'd told her I'd played chess. This poem is about that. It seems weird having Alan here when I'm talking about my wife, so let's just... This is a true story. It's a true story. It's called Hitting the Berlin Wall. Thank you. I sat next to a TV strongman once. We compared hand calluses. His from barbells, mine from push rims. I watched him last New Year on Channel 5 pull a fire engine towards him, thighs bulging like two deer heads in his shorts. Calloused hand over calloused hand, arms burning with expended energy. I pull on this memory as I lasso a rope around Brandenburg Gate and drag it towards me. Mile 26, 200 yards left to go. Berlin is a mesh of encouragement I do not understand. About 10 minutes ago, I'm pretty sure I had a conversation with an Alsatian holding a sign padding paw against paw with a "come on, you can do it" furry clap. Memories of the dog get diluted in the Lucasade I drain. Did I see it put its sign down and run alongside me? Losch schneller, losch schneller, losch schneller, losch schneller, losch schneller, losch schneller, losch schneller. Maybe it was just barking. I do not speak German or dog. I tell myself when I get home, I'll look up what was being shouted. I am, of course, distracting myself. I need to focus on finishing this race. Breath, push, breath, push, breath, push, breath, push. In England, I am wheelchair racer. Here, I am Rostelfahrer. I like how that sounds. I repeat it over these last few bits of tarmac. Rostelfahrer, 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 Rostelfahrer. Finish line, banana. Thank you.
What's the scores? We got a 9.5 and a 9.5 and a 9.3. How was this?
That can't be right. There must be 28.3.
28.3! Right. Time for one of my famous asides. They've been going well so far. You may remember I wasn't meant to be here on account of the marketing. There was someone else. Their name was Josie. They've got COVID at the moment. I'm going to fucking work this phone somehow. So I'm going to count down from 3. And you guys are all going to shout, "Get well soon," and I'll send it to her. Right. 3, 2, 1. Get well soon! Thank you all very much. It's okay when I do it. Oh, the best part was I was about to make a dad joke and someone did it for me. Right. Right, moving on. Swiftly, we've got the final, you cheeky prick, the final slammer from Weston-Super-Mare. Please give all of your love to Anne Bond!
I know I'm your darling, Paula. Right, earlier, lovely people, I told you of a beautiful moment in my life. Sadly, this was a not so beautiful episode. It happened just before Christmas, and I was not a happy woman. It's called Woman versus Pavement. I took on a pavement last Thursday. I decided to knock it quite flat. So I hurled myself down upon it, and I tried out its worth as a mat. It lay there, cold and unyielding. I was recumbent, bemused and alarmed. I was sprawled in inglorious posture, bleeding all over its charms. "Don't move," cried a kindly bystander. "I doubt if I can," I replied. Like a beached whale, I was helpless. I needed strong men supplied. I was helped to my feet and then seated. A hubbub went on all around. For once, I didn't argue, and a lift to the medics soon found. I was processed in less than 2 hours. My doctor was young, with dark hair. "Whoa, that's a bit of a bleeder," he said as he prodded my forehead with care. He stitched me with great concentration and warned of a black eye to come. I'd look like a bit of a bruiser, not mistaken for someone's old mum. Next day, I resembled a panda. But it could have been a lot worse. My bosom had softened the impact. My blessing, never my curse. If I'm scarred, who the hell will take notice? I might make a feature of that. Butterfly wings would be awesome. Or a paw print to honour my cat. In the meantime, I'll tell all the story. And I'll warn them old women don't bounce. So, watch out for marauding pavements. Those buggers are waiting to pounce.
Judges, how are we doing? 9.1! A 9.2! And a 9!
27.5.
to sell copies of their book, January. It's Bristol's own Gemma Hathaway!
Hi again. I've drunk a bit more beer since the last one, so we'll see what happens. This poem I wrote because I need to read it myself sometimes. It's called An Anxious Girl's Guide to Stopping All This with This. Stop. Just stop it now. Live. Keep living, keep right on living until your lifeline runs out of runway, so you have no choice but to try and fly. Next time you notice joy, stop acting so shy, go right up to it and say hi. Tell me everything about yourself. When self-talk sends you junk mail, click unsubscribe, live wide, make reckless your new career, take down every stop sign on the road to your heart, try to break every speed limit here. On the days getting out of bed seems like war, remember Monaco has an orchestra bigger than its army. And you can too. So many people love to hear your tune. Smile enough so when the moon forgets to shine, it searches your face on Google to remember how to light up a room. The book of you is a work in progress. Who cares if you tear a few pages on the way? The Cinderella, your Jesus, since have courage and be kind makes more sense than anything you find in the Bible. Tell anyone who will listen that your name is a verb because there is so much you can do. Next time someone asks your opinion, speak it loud, enough to drop every mic and take a stand instead. Put your whole soul on speakerphone. Know whatever the time, you are not too late. A man named Mamafuko Ando was almost 50 when he made history by inventing instant ramen noodles. If he can change the world selling three-dimensional doodles, you can do any damn thing. Tell yourself time is a Belgian waffle, then you will never feel bad for eating your way through it. Because one morning, you're going to wake up and wonder what to have for breakfast. Blissful in the ignorance, it will be your last one. So stop. Just stop it now. Take life by its lapels, pull life close, look deep into life's eyes like life just told you it loves you. Get into a staring competition with life, and for once, don't you dare look away first.
Judges, how we doing? Fucking hell, that quick. 9! 9.1! And the final score of the evening of the singular response is a 9.3! Every time I put my book down, I put it there to go and grab it, I stare at that light. One laugh is staying in. Second laugh. Right, cool. That brings us to the end of the slam. Everybody go, oh. But it's not the end of the night. Hey, you kind of knew what response to have there. So, whilst Hi Viz Liz reminds me to do my fucking job. What does it add up to?
27.4.
27.4! We are going to allow Hi Viz Liz to do some maths, add up all of the scores from the evening. Whilst we do love Hi Viz Liz. Before we do this, there's more poetry to come.
Yeah.
Sophie.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh, thank fuck.
Sorry, I thought you were.
Oh,
I'm here.
I love the repeat beat poet, but I haven't got his bio.
Oh, no, neither have I. Where have I put my... There's the book.
I've given it away. What's about to happen?
Let me just... Right. It's the repeat beat poet, but wait, let me get you up to speed with the Repeat Beat Poet. So, Repeat Beat Poet has brought his debut pamphlet with him. Am I correct? Yes, a testament to life and death. I've had a glimpse at the poem that he is going to perform right now, and it is a stunner of a poem, Cal. It's a stunner of a poem. So please, round of applause for the Repeat Beat Poet, and think about buying that pamphlet. Thank you. Round of applause.
You right? We doing good? I've had a freaking fantastic night. Honestly, I adore coming out and finding new places. It's my first time to Weston. I love it here, legitimately. I mean, shit's on Margate, shit's on lots of other, you know what I mean? I won't just slander other seaside towns, trust me. It's unkind, but also, it's true. Anyway, this piece is called For the Poets, and I love doing it to new crowds and new places. It's kind of become like a calling card for me. It's honestly a poem which I love so much because it has had its own life almost outside of me. I like poems that almost take on their own utility, poems that can be of use to you during your day-to-day. And so while some people say, I hope you enjoy what I do, and I do hope you enjoy what I do, more than that, I hope that this poem might be useful to you. Yeah, this is called For the Poets, and it's for every one of you. This is for the poets, for those fleeting moment capturers who enrapture us. I've written this for the rhyme flingers and the word slingers, for the pens and microphones gripped between fingers, for the barrier breakers who showed anyone and everyone that this could in fact be done. You see, I've written this for those public communicators of your private struggles, for every life reborn from rubble, for poets writing their way out of trouble, for every poem written that aids a resurrection or sparks an insurrection, every poet that challenges your convention, for all the witty epithets that double as reactionary couplets, and for all of those poets surprised by what it is they have created, and for all of the poets who make this look uncomplicated, for the secret journals kept hidden, for every instrumental or internal beat ridden, every writer reaching for knowledge forgotten or forbidden, on every stage and page graced with a verse that did not want, but damn it needed to be written. You see, I've written this for every seasoned sage, every first timer, faced with whatever it means to call yourself a writer. For every fabled poet out there spinning fables. For every identity shining easy labels, every poem in every language under Babel. For the ones who write for us when we are sick and unable. And for the ones who write just to keep themselves stable. For the poets everywhere and the poetry that got them there. A round of applause, please, for all of the poets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's calm. I'm just going to say a quick word. Legitimately, I wrote that poem for anyone who's ever written a poem. It doesn't matter if it was for like a mate's wedding, like birthday, when you're on the bus home and it's the final thing you need to just write down when you're just about to go to sleep. Private Tumblr accounts, private journals. There was one chuckle for a private Tumblr account.
One laugh is staying in.
Oh, it's still your line. Basically, if you like that poem, if you want to hear more of what I do, then you can buy this wonderful book. It's called A Testament to Life and Death. It is a collection of stories, memories, prophecies, narratives that I have built over the past 6.5 years of writing poetry. It's my debut pamphlet. I'm incredibly proud of it. And yeah, just come and chat to me if you want a copy. I've got some in my bag. Peace. My name is the Repeat Beat Poet.
Isabel, Georgina, Peter, all sick. They're all really, really good poets. So I'm going to say, yeah, if you want to chat to them, but you might not want to talk to anyone, might you? But they look pretty friendly to me, so go and chat to them, get to know them.
Run away fast.
Yeah, or option B. We've got quite an important announcement to make, haven't we, Cal?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
We're doing the scores.
Yeah, let's do the scores.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's time. Oh yeah, drum roll.
In reverse order, even though there's only 2 teams. With 156.6, it's Weston-Super-Mare! Which means, at a detriment to our safety, tonight's winners are Bristol! Team Bristol, come and collect your shields!
Yeah. I mean, it looks like we will be having that fight in the car park after all, so you better be ready. I have one. Oh, Gemma's ready. We have one shield out. The other 2 shields.
There's no car park.
Yeah, there is.
Then where the fuck am I parked?
Stephen, believe me, there's a shield in there. Gemma, believe me, there is a shield in there. I believe you. Yeah. But yeah, big round of applause for our Bristol poets. Do you have any words to say? Any words to say?
I think the only thing that's left to say is no. Please, everyone, show all of your love and support to Sophie and the rest of the Weston team. Yes, I have one more thank you left to give. And that is to thank Sophie for allowing me to be here in place of Josie. If you would like to see me be incredibly professional elsewhere, I am hosting the Lyra Slam final at St George's. I think there are still tickets left, so go get them.
Yeah.
I'll hand over to Sophie.
Yeah. Right, I have a list of thank yous and I've written them down so I don't forget them. First, thank you to Cal for stepping in last minute. Thanks so much. Right, I've got 14 people/things here, so I'll reel them off, maybe do like a little light clap as I'm reeling them off, and then go for a really big one at the end. So, I want to say thank you to Loves. I want to say thank you to Theatre Orchard. I want to say thank you to Paula for doing the tech. I want to say thank you to Gary for filming. Hi Viz Liz. Josie, because Josie organised the teams, keep clapping, keep slowly clapping. Organised all the teams, and Becky Pelton for the tickets, the Bristol team, the Weston team, the dodgy estate agents of Weston. Without them, I'd have no poem. Lyra Bristol Poetry Festival, because they gave me the funding to have Paul here tonight. So thank you to them. To our judges, PJ, Isabel, and Georgina. And thank you to Fiona, Fiona stood there, who made this beautiful sign behind me. Yeah. I'm going to put it on my wall. Have I said thank you to everyone that feels like they deserve a thank you? The audience deserves a thank you. The audience deserves a thank you. Cheer yourselves. Thank you for coming. So usually I host a slam called Rhyme Against the Tide, which is, it's not me taking on whole towns and whole cities. It's just a normal slam, if that's a thing. I was going to say that I was going to take a break and not do one in May, but if you're loud enough and you want one in May, I might be... onto stage for a group photo.
Yay!
Yeah.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. Not everyone. The poets, the judges. Yeah. Have a great night. thank you for coming. Poetry, so slam, poetry.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Maybe up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but where to say.
When I say poetry, you say slam, poetry.